One, we've got a running prop, plus 170 for Elijah Mitchell and Cam Akers to combine for 150 yards on the ground. Doesn't feel like a giant number here, Pearce. What do you think?
It does feel like a giant number when you look at the defenses they're facing. I like both the running backs in DFS if you're trying to be slightly contrarian and getting away from that AFC game. But betting-wise, I'm just not crazy about it. I think you can count on Eli Mitchell for 75 rushing yards. His prop is set at 71.5. If you don't think he can get there, then you should probably just go ahead and bet the Rams. I don't think he's who you really need to worry about. It's Cam Akers, who his rushing prop's at 60 yards. San Francisco is second when it comes to adjusted rushing yards to running backs at 3.5. So even if Akers gets 20 carries, it's going to be tough for him to get there against a pretty good rush defense. And I know it's amazing that he is back, but he hasn't necessarily looked amazing on the field in his first two playoff games. 3.2 yards per carry, 2 yards per carry. I think he's the weak link that doesn't get us there.
So, Matt, Pearce basically just did the math for us. 130 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. That's the combination projected for those two. Can we get to 150?
Yeah, so it's not going to be this question for me either. I think the next one is the one where I'm going to be more bullish on it. The problem with the rushing prop, where you need one guy from each team also, is that if one running back does well, it's less likely that the other running back does well. That's not the case for a quarterback prop, where one quarterback throwing for a lot of yards means more possessions for the other quarterback. It's actually a good thing. But the better that the Rams run the ball, the less opportunities the 49ers are going to have to run the ball and vice versa. So I'm not really that excited about this one. I am a little worried about Cam Akers and the fumbling problems. If there's a running back I do like this week, it's Joe Mixon, not just because he's contrarian. I think he's got a rushing prop in the 50s. And I do think the Bengals may just decide to run the ball more than people expect. So if I have to like a running back this week, it's Joe Mixon, not these guys.
Bukes, you in favor of these guys?
Yeah, not really much to add here. Like the worry here was with Cam Akers. Like he ran the ball 24 times last week against Tampa, brought 48 yards back on those 24 carries. That's not very good. And granted, Tampa's been a much better run defense than almost every team in the league. But, you know, even against the Cardinals, 17 carries for 55 yards, not exactly oozing, a ton of yardage in those scenarios. So I don't like this one here. I think Elijah Mitchell should have a good game. We've seen him run over the Rams in 2 games now, so I feel confident about him. But Cam Akers is the weak link in this one, so I'm not a fan of this one.